In this lesson, we will be posting all the calculations the system has done during the previous steps we have performed in the actual costing run. But before that, I want to show you one very useful report that can be used to analyze all the price differences the system has recorded for all your materials. Let's use the Easy Access menu path to locate Value Flow Monitor. Go to Product Cost Controlling, then Actual Costing, then Information System, and here you can see Value Flow Monitor. You can also use T-code CKMVFM. When you are using this monitoring tool, you always need to give a name for the report you are creating. Let's run this report for all our raw materials. I press Multiple Selection here and then insert numbers of the materials. I insert the current period, select Display All Materials, and press Execute. The system displays all the materials grouped by material valuation type. The first column displays the sum of all price and exchange rate differences that was recorded during the period. But the column that we were most interested in this report is this one, not allocated price differences. Before we move forward, let's have a quick recap what the material ledger is really about. So as you have learned, material ledger is recording all the price differences of a material during a certain period. At the end of a period, all these price differences need to be allocated somewhere. This is what is meant with material ledger closing. A portion of the price differences will be allocated to the ending inventory, meaning the stock we still have in our warehouse at the end of the period. The remaining portion of the price differences will be allocated for stock that was consumed during the period. For single-level consumption, the allocation portion was calculated using the revaluation consumption step we saw during the previous lesson. For multi-level consumption, the portion of the price difference will be allocated when we are calculating multi-level material prices for the finished materials. This was the multi-level price determination step we performed during the last lesson. So this column here shows the amount of price difference that the system could not allocate to consumption or to period-end inventory. If you can see some amount here for raw materials, make sure you have fully performed the settlement process for all your orders. Another possible reason why the system can't allocate price differences fully is that the period-end inventory is too small to receive all the differences allocated to it. In the next two columns, you can see the amount of price difference that was allocated to single-level and multi-level consumptions. The column here shows the amount of price difference that was allocated to period-ending inventory. Before you will post the price differences, it always makes sense to first run this report to make sure all price differences will be correctly taken care of by the system. It's time to close the MM period for the month. Let's open transaction MMPV. I enter our company code, insert the next period I want to open, and press Execute. The system gives us a message that the next period has been opened. We are now ready to conduct all the postings we calculated during the actual costing run we were using during the previous lesson. However, there are most likely some GL accounts missing for our company code in the IDES environment you are using. Here, you will see a list of accounts that you will most likely need to copy before you can do the period end postings in transaction CKMLCP. All the accounts are related to losses or gains from material price differences. When you are copying these accounts, you will notice that for some reason, the descriptions of these accounts are in Portuguese in IDES, but that's something we don't need to worry about. We can still use the accounts. As you remember, we can copy GL accounts using FS00 transaction. First, select the company code from which you want to copy the GL account from. Then use the Find function to locate the GL account. Then you can use this copy button here to copy the account for your company code. It might be that some GL accounts are not available in company codes 0001 or 1000. In these cases, you can use SE16N to search for company codes that have these GL accounts maintained for them. Select SKB1 as the table and then insert the GL account that you want to copy. This column shows you all the company codes for which the account is maintained. When you're copying the accounts, I want you to pay special attention to the last account on the list. When you are creating this GL account, make sure that the field status group is maintained as general. Otherwise, the system will not allow you to post price differences to this account. After the accounts have been created, we are ready to execute the closing posting step in CK-ML-CP. I will remove the test mode from the parameter settings and press Execute. The system shows us the number of materials for which the postings have been made. If you receive an error message, it might be that there are still some GL accounts that you need to copy. You can check the reason for the error from the log that can be found from here. If there have been no errors, the log is empty. In the next lesson, we will examine all the postings done by the system in detail.